This here. And that one there.
Boss, guess what?
Don, where have you been? I needed your help editing an hour ago.
I was with Lady Lorna and the gang. We went to a rock concert, bullied some hobos down the street, and
Wait, what?
we bullied some hobos.
No, not that. That sounds like something you do. I'm talking about the rock concert. Since when did you start listening to rock music again?
I always have.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I have.
No, you didn't.
Says who?
Says you. It was right after the end of episode 2 of the I'm a Fan of podcast. You remember? I'm a fan of Genshin Impact with Sabrina Gill. Y'all better go listen to it. Don't you remember when that mysterious rock music started playing and I got angry and beat you up? Good times. Anyways, I remember you saying, and I quote, "I'll never listen to rock music again," in all capital letters. I know because they appeared on my TV screen when I got my money back.
Well, things change.
But Dawn doesn't. You finally got back with your little AI girlfriend after 20 years, and the first thing you do is run away and swoon over the next newest model available. What's this about Lady Lorna anyway? I thought she was amazing when I first saw her, until I realized she sounded extremely familiar. You know, like a 24-year-old boy whose voice hadn't changed since he was like 13. It's all filters and sound effects. Suspicious.
Well, I think she's amazing.
And I think that I need to finish editing this episode so that I can watch America's favorite new teen drama, High School High. It's so good. You know, Blandon.
Not listening to you. Going to hang out with Lady Lorna now.
I'm so replacing you by season 2. Hi, welcome to the I'm a Fan of podcast, where people from different fandoms come together to share why they love what they love.
And sometimes hate what they hate.
I'm your host, Kaiser Brown, and I'm a fan of K-pop because I really don't know much about rock music.
And I'm Mieke, and I'm a fan of My Chemical Romance.
Yes, and today we're going to be talking just about that. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's get started. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm finally ready to get this episode recorded, doing all this research. Hopefully, I sound like I know a little bit what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's okay. That's why you have the seasoned professional here.
Yes, that's exactly why we have you here. So you said you wanted to talk about My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Why did you pick this specific band to talk about?
So this band holds a very special place in my heart. When I was younger, I was going through kind of an emo phase. So as one does, you kind of get into that style of music. I distinctly remember listening to Panic at the Disco first, and then hearing My Chemical Romance and the YouTube recommended right after that. So that was kind of how I got started into it. But My Chemical Romance really holds a special place in my heart because I, as a young person, didn't really have the resources to deal with my emotions, and having a band that was talking about emotions a lot really helped me grow and learn, I would say.
That's a story I've heard doing research on this band a lot, is their music really deals with a lot of emotions that really helps a lot of people in therapeutic ways.
Yes.
And I find it so interesting because usually when you think about like, what type of band would you consider this? Like, what type of rock? Would you be like a punk rock? I feel like in like their early days, that was kind of like punk rock, but like...
Yeah, it was considered punk for a little while, but I think the genre kind of shifted a little bit to more, I don't know. They've said that they're not emo.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't want to really clarify themselves as that, but I don't really see a problem with that. They deal with the emotions. They talk about the things that most emo bands talk about, you know? So they kind of fit that, I guess, punk rock, emo rock clarification, I guess.
Yeah. No, because this was my first time like listening extensively to this type of like punk rock-ish type of band. Because I'm really more like a pop type of guy or like R&B or whatever. And so like last year I really got into K-pop because I listened to I don't know if you ever heard of them. I don't know. Do you listen to K-pop?
I've listened to a little
A
K-pop.
little
My
bit.
roommate really
Uh-huh.
likes K-pop, like
Yeah.
ATEEZ and oh, I wish I could remember the names of their bands.
Yeah.
But I've heard some of it and I've liked what I've heard so far.
Mhm. I listened to Girls' Generation. They're like this.
Ooh.
Yeah, you heard of them?
Yes, I have. They
Yes,
sound
because
good.
they're really big, man. They've been around. What today was their 16th anniversary, I think, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. I saw on the internet, and so they've been together for a while, and they released a new album last year, and that's when I kind of got into K-pop. See, I'm the type of person. It's really hard for me to say that I'm into one type of genre or like sound of music because I go like everywhere like all at once, and so like
Yeah.
I don't listen to just like a whole bunch of just one type of thing. Most people don't, but what I mean is like people have like their favorite artists or whatever. And usually with different artists, I just have a few songs from each artist that I like. And I'm not like, man, I love Beyonce so much. I do love Beyonce, like some Beyonce music, but I don't listen to all Beyonce music. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's very rare for me to have a group that I really, really, really just like know a lot of music to. And for me, and it's actually a lot of girl groups, it's TLC, is Girls' Generation, and I can't think. Man, see, I'm a bad music. I can't even think of it. Oh, Whitney Houston. I listen to a lot of Whitney Houston too, actually.
Ooh.
I used to
Nice.
listen to Whitney Houston every day when I was in high school.
Wow.
TLC too, and Selena for some reason. You know the movie Selena,
Yes.
that came
Yes.
out in the 90s or whatever. And I watched that movie in high school, and then all of a sudden I started getting addicted to her music.
Wow.
That's right. I haven't
That's
heard
so
a Selena
good.
song in years though. So
Oh, you should
yeah,
listen again.
I should listen again because that was some good music. I just love, especially just like 90s type of music. I guess that's where my love is. Just like a lot of ballads, a lot of just like love songs, stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff that really brings the nostalgia, I guess.
Yeah.
That stuff is really good.
So besides My Chemical Romance, well, I know you said Panic at the Disco. Do you listen to just like mostly rock music? What type of music do you listen to overall?
So I would say I listen to mostly rock. I enjoy most types of music except for country. Country, I would say I don't mean to be that person that says, country sucks, but country sucks.
Oh my gosh.
They talk about look, I could go on about country music, but we're talking about My Chemical Romance today. I'm
Yeah,
talking
this is
about
the
the
My
things that
Chemical
I
Romance
enjoy.
podcast. Yeah.
Yes, we're not going to talk about country, but I will say that country is one of my least favorite genres. Out of every genre, I'm not a fan of country. But that being said, I really enjoy classical music sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'll put that on if I'm having a rough day, or, I'll put on like indie music sometimes. It just depends on the vibe, I guess.
I think that's kind of why I'm into K-pop, because it's like this combination of a whole bunch of different things. K-pop is just basically black music anyway, right? So like they just took all of like black culture and just like put it. And well, when you think about it, all music is kind of like black music, because
Exactly.
rock and roll,
Rock music
country,
came from that
all that
anyways.
stuff came from black people. And so like when you like talk about all this stuff, I mean, like sometimes I'm like, maybe I should like look into like the origins of all these things too, just to like,
Yes.
because it's just cool to just know like that history and doing all that stuff too.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of history though, we said we're gonna get a little bit into a short history lesson on My Chemical Romance.
All right, let's go. This is my favorite part, because My Chemical Romance influenced a lot of pop culture, in case you didn't know. I was shocked when I found out a lot of My Chemical Romance's history. So in 2001, the Twin Towers were struck. We know that. Gerard Way happened to be there and witnessed the attack. And he just called up his friends and was like, hey, I can't keep doing this. Do y'all want to do something new? And everybody said, you know what? Let's go. So they took this name, My Chemical Romance, from his little brother, Mikey. His little brother, Mikey, came up with the name, and he ended up becoming the bassist for the band. He came up with the name in the Barnes and Noble store that he was working at the time, because he saw a book named The Tales of the Chemical Romance. So after My Chemical Romance got together, they wrote, You Brought Me Your Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. So that was their first album. Super awesome. Actually, my favorite album. It wasn't super popular because the scene was just starting up. Everybody was kind of, they were in their dirty rock dude era. That 2001 to 2003-ish was kind of like the dirty, like, Warped Tour era of the band. And then from there, they kind of blossomed from 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. That really blew up with I'm Not Okay, Helena. Those songs were really popular back then. And then
it was certified platinum in 2005 too, huh?
Yeah.
Like, it so double like the amount the first one did in like the first week or whatever, right?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
The situation, I'm glad you remembered that, because I did not. But the situation was crazy. They were like screaming, crying, throwing up over that. But then after that was Welcome to the Black Parade, and that one blew up like crazy. That one went even higher than 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. So
no, my favorite like info about that is 2 things. One, they stayed in a haunted house. They stayed in a Paramore.
Yes.
And they were being haunted and stuff like that. And who's the brother? What's his name? Mikey. He ended up leaving earlier than all the rest of them because he went to get some mental help because that
house
was
so scary.
Yeah. And
no,
then
I don't blame him. I would have too.
Yeah. And then it debuted at number 2 on a Billboard Top 200, but it was behind Hannah Montana at number 1. I found that so hilarious.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. That's really funny. Oh, wow. But yeah, that's basically My Chemical Romance. They also had Danger Days and Conventional Weapons come out, but that wasn't nearly as popular, I would say. 2010, they kind of slowed down, and then they broke up in 2013, which made everybody really sad. They kept denying that they were going to get back together, but in 2019 they got back together.
Right.
And then they had shows scheduled, but then the quarantine happened. So I actually managed to go to one of those shows.
Really?
That was rescheduled. Yes.
How was it?
Rescheduled to September. It was really awesome.
Wow.
I had such a good time. It was honestly eye-opening as someone that has followed them for so long. I would say from 14 to 23, that's pretty long time to enjoy a band.
Yeah.
And not get tired of them or feel like they're, I don't know. You know how sometimes like certain bands you just get tired of?
Yeah.
Well, I've never really gotten tired of My Chemical Romance. So, I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
I think everyone has like that 1 or 2 bands or groups or singers that they're into and that they just stay into. They just love listening to them. For me, that's TLC. Oh, I love listening to TLC. You play some TLC, I'm already up there. But that's so cool you went to a concert. See, I'm not a concert type of person, though. I always say if I'm going to go to a concert, I must be in the concert or something because I'm not going to be sitting down there doing all that. And I always find it so interesting when like bands break up and they're like, we're never going to be back together. And then they always come back together.
Right.
See, that's why I was talking about Girls' Generation. That's why I like Girls' Generation. I tend to have like the groups that I like are the groups that always just stay together because they took like a 5-year hiatus because they, 2017 and they came back in 2022 to work on all their separate things. But the whole time, everybody thought they broke up, but they were saying, we didn't break up. We're going to come back. We promise we're going to come back. And then they came back for their 15th anniversary. And I'm like, see, that's great. See, I know y'all gonna stay together. Even if you like go your separate ways. You communicate and you have your little things. I think that's the problem with most bands stuff. They don't communicate. See, you need to
Right.
communicate what you need to what you want to talk about, and then you won't have to feel like you have to break up. You can just come back when you feel like it.
Exactly. That's so true. And that's so true for any relationship. Like, just
Mm-hmm.
communicate. It's really
Mm-hmm.
that easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess you already gave a little bit of your history, huh? So, I should ask you, what are like your favorite songs for the band? Like, what are your like top
Ooh.
ones?
Oh my gosh. Give 'em Hell Kid is one of my favorites right now. I really like Hang 'em High. Um, I really like the songs from Bullets, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Just the entire album.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, any of the songs with the really long titles I really like. I kind of have a thing for those. Even with
Mm-hmm.
Fallout Boy, which is
Yeah.
another emo band.
Yeah.
They have really long song titles as well, and I seem to like those a
Mm-hmm.
lot as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like very anime. It always reminds me of anime with like these long titles.
So
It's
true.
especially with My Chemical Romance. It just feel with like a whole bunch of nerds. I've learned
Yes.
Gerard Way, because I knew his name. First of all, you talk about how they're like so etched in pop culture. I'm like, I know this guy's name, but I can't remember who it is. And then I was like, wait a second, that's the guy he's from Umbrella Academy. He wrote Umbrella Academy.
Yes. I'm glad you bring that up because I completely forgot the main point of me bringing up My Chemical Romance's pop culture influences. They influenced Twilight. Did you know
Yes,
that?
they did. They did. I watched the video. They did like somebody did like this iceberg, like the My Chemical Romance iceberg, and they were talking about
Yes.
Twilight for a little bit. I don't remember like how they influenced it specifically, but I remember them saying that.
So it was a My Chemical Romance fan fiction that what's the author of Twilight's name?
Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah,
But
I'll put it
anyways,
in later.
yeah,
Yeah.
the author's name is
Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah.
we will to be figured out later.
Stephanie Meyer.
The author wrote a fan fiction about My Chemical Romance and then decided, you know what, this would be better as a book, and then wrote Twilight. So Gerard Way was supposed to be the main vampire, I think. I haven't seen Twilight. That's my biggest character
You never
flaw.
watched Twilight? Really?
No,
Not one.
No, not one.
Wow.
I need to watch it.
Man, I mean, you by this time, should you really? The Twilight movies aren't that
Yeah.
good. Like, I feel like you have to like watch them at that time. I mean, there are some people who come into them and then like, oh, I like that, you know what I mean? But you have to watch them at that time to really like kind of understand.
Yeah.
And then like once you watch now, it's like more for like nostalgia and not for like. Because let's be honest, most people watched them because it was either Team Edward, Team Jacob. Most people chose Jacob because he had abs, and right, and most people chose Edward because he was like, I don't know why people chose Edward, pale, and some I don't know.
That's so good.
If I'm being honest, that's really the reason.
That makes a lot of sense. You know, I never really got the hype because around that time, I guess I was just too young. I don't know. Like, I just didn't really get into it. But, like, I saw my friends and my peers get into it, and I was just like, what is it with these white guys? Like, they're just.
Yeah, that was a time during the vampire craze too, because you had Twilight,
True.
and then Vampire Diaries came out like not long after that, trying to like jump on the horse, and
Yeah.
that went on forever, and then they kept doing like spin-offs and stuff, and I never watched Vampire Diaries.
Really? I haven't either.
No. Yeah, and I have a guest. Hopefully, they're coming on. That they said when they do, they want to talk about Vampire Diaries, and I'm
Ooh.
like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. They say they want to talk more about like the fandom of it, but I don't know what to do about that because I'm just gonna have to like start skimming through some episodes, pick like the episodes I think, and then also there's this character. Her name's Elena. She's a black girl, and they just treat the black people on that show so bad.
Oh,
So
no.
like I'm gonna have a field day with that one. It's gonna be
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, you would think as somebody who likes My Chemical Romance, with the amount of vampire imagery in the group in general, I guess, it's just like you would think I would be into vampire stuff more.
great.
But alas, I need to get into it.
Yeah, I'm not into vampire stuff really either. You know what? The only vampire thing I'm into is Castlevania. Castlevania. Have you ever seen that Netflix anime?
I haven't seen it, but I know
You
of it.
you should watch it. It's so good. It's so good.
Noted.
Like most video game adaptations, there are 2 video game adaptations that I would like if you want to watch TV shows for people like that are good adaptations. It's Castlevania and it's Arcane.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
Arcane is really good too.
Arcane is excellent and it looks so good. Like talk about art. It's just
Wow.
amazing. It's just I have somebody coming back to talk about Arcane too. So I'm gonna wait till that episode to just go into that. But no, Gerard Way, when I heard his name and I was trying to figure out who he was, I'm like, he wrote Umbrella Academy and he writes a lot of comic books. He did like a run on Doom Patrol. And Doom Patrol is really weird. if anybody's ever like read Doom Patrol, it's him. He's done a really good run, and somebody else I can think of, Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison did a really good run on Doom Patrol, and both of their runs are like really similar because Gerard Way started off as like a cartoonist, right? He went to art school, and then that's when 9/11 happened. That's when he wanted to start the band, and he kind of gave up on that a little bit. But then like once the band got more popular and stuff, he started going back into that and just like doing his things. And it's funny how stuff like that just comes back around.
It's really crazy. Like something really interesting with Into the Spider-Verse coming out. I don't know if you know this, but Gerard Way actually created Penny Parker.
Yeah, he did.
Which is really awesome. I was so amazed when I saw her in the movie. I was like, Gerard Way made her.
Do you read Spider-Man?
I
Like
don't
Spider-Man?
read
You don't?
Spider-Man, but like I need to. I've watched several of the movies, not all of them, but I just love comic books in general. I read like graphic novels and stuff like that.
See, the thing about me, I'm like a Marvel guy, but I'm also a DC guy. So like with the DC side, I read more of the universe. Wonder Woman is my favorite character overall, first of all.
Yes.
Cause wait a second. See right here?
Yes.
When I graduated high school, 2017, I got myself this as a present. This was like when I didn't have money, $50, and this is this Wonder Woman collection of some of her best runs, and it has 4 of them in here, and I just love this thing to death. Like it has fallen, and some of the stuff has gotten like messed up a little bit on the sides, but I love it so much. I need to take better care of my books, but I love I love Wonder Woman so much, and I read a lot of like Teen Titans and stuff like that. I love teenage heroes. That's just like my thing. Teen Titans, Batman for sure. Batman is just like, I love Batman. He's like everywhere though. That kind of gets on my nerves. You know what I mean? I wish they pushed Wonder Woman just a little bit more.
Please.
Please do. Because they call them the Trinity: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman needs her own TV show now, like her own animated show and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for that to happen.
She doesn't get nearly enough attention as she deserves.
Right. And I'm just like, so when they like make a Wonder Woman show, call me up. I'll like voice act on there or something. I play Steve Trevor. I love Steve Trevor. But yeah, so like on that side, I read like a lot more of the universe. But on the Marvel side, I read a lot more just like X-Men. X-Men is my thing. And so speaking of Grant Morrison, like Grant Morrison did one of the best runs on X-Men called New X-Men. I know this is a My Chemical Romance podcast, but this is what happens.
This is all related.
Right, it comes together. But he wrote New X-Men, and I just love X-Men so much. I wonder if Gerard Way wrote something for X-Men, because I feel like his type of writing style would really go with the X-Men, especially in like recent years where they go into, well, X-Men's always been kind of like a sci-fi thing, 60s, 70s, right?
Yeah.
Because how I look at X-Men is like the A-list, right? The Avengers are like the C-list. When the movies came out, they started going to A-list, but before that, they were just like C-list heroes. And they're cops and nobody likes them. But with the X-Men... With the X-Men, you just get all the X-Men as a soap opera. You get the drama. You get the characterization. Not all X-Men runs are good, of course, because when you have a whole universe that spans like 75 plus years, you're going to have some stinkers or whatever. But like the late 70s, early 80s, the early 2000s, and now since like 2019, because for a while there, for like a decade or so, X-Men wasn't really good. because they had a few good titles in there. Because it's a universe, so you're gonna have like 70 different X-Men titles. But for a while there, they shortened them down to like 5 different ones, and then because Fox had the rights to the X-Men, right? And so Disney were like, we don't want to give them more than they need, so they would like shorten down like the X-Men stuff, stop putting them in promotional material and doing all that stuff. For a while, you saw like when they put on Marvel posters, it's like no X-Men were there. And it used to be like Wolverine and Storm everywhere, right? And then now when they got the rights back in like 2018, they started putting X-Men everywhere again. And right now X-Men is like on this island called Krakoa. That island was introduced in the 70s when they did this is about to be an X-Men lesson. I'm gonna do an X-Men episode one day.
Yes.
They did all different X-Men. So let me tell you, the X-Men in the 60s were boring. That's when you had the original 5. You had Cyclops, Iceman, Jean Grey, when she was Marvel Girl, Beast, and Angel. It was trying to do this allegory because it was based on civil rights, but it was all like these 5 white kids. And of course you had Professor X, right? But it was kind of boring, you know what I mean? And so when I was younger, I kind of got into like the original comics. And I picked up a lot of Fantastic Four and I picked a lot of X-Men because I used to love both those teams. Fantastic Four in the 60s actually still holds up in a way to where you can read it, you can enjoy it. Read something from X-Men in the 60s, and for the most part, like, you get so bored. It's just boring. And so when X-Men came in the 70s and they started doing, like, Storm and Wolverine and all them and stuff, that's when it got so interesting. And that's when it really blew up. That's when you had, like, the Phoenix saga. Everybody knows about Phoenix, Jean Grey being Phoenix. That's when you had Storm become the leader of the X-Men. And for the entirety of the 80s, Storm was basically like the main character of the X-Men comics. And then you had like the New Mutants and all that stuff and just like X-Men. And so that's how I really got into X-Men, just all that stuff. And I just started enjoying it so much to where the Avengers, they just look so boring, you know what I mean? But you have some that I like I like Wasp and I like Black Panther. I like Scarlet Witch, but then even Scarlet Witch, where she come from, her origins came from the X-Men. Her dad is Magneto. They removed her mutant origins or whatever, but she's technically a mutant now again, her and her twin brother. So you know what I mean? Anybody that just like kind of has like a thing with the mutants, I like you a bit more. Iron Man, he's okay. You know what I mean? I'm not getting into that because this is a My Chemical Romance podcast. But basically what I was getting into, I just find like their origins of this band is like being like this really nerdy group of people coming together. And they're so etched into pop culture to the point where I actually heard some of their music before and I never knew who these people were. But I heard their music before. I don't know if it's just like, I can't tell you where I heard it from. That's the thing. And I think that's why they're so popular. When you can hear or recognize certain aspects of a certain group, a band or whatever, and you don't even know where it came from, I think that's when you know you reach like so peak popularity. Yeah.
It's like this band has one single note that they can play that people will just start screaming. The G note from Welcome to the Black Parade. You play that note and people lose it. People would start crying. Back when they broke up, people would start crying when they heard that song. It's like I can appreciate the fandom for their existence. But also at the same time, like, why were we crying? Like, I knew they were gonna get back together.
That's a story of just like, I feel like American bands and British bands have this bad, like, they just always like, we're breaking up and then they come back together. And then like they break up again, but then they come back together. It's like this on and off relationship. It's like, why don't we just be like, we might come back.
Right. That would be nice.
Speaking of fandoms, though, how like active are you in the MCR fandom?
Well, I'm on the MCR Twitter, and every once in a while I get on the MCR TikTok. It's just not. I don't want to say that it's not a great place to be, but it can get a little. It can get a little nerdy sometimes. We'll just put it that way.
There's every fandom ever.
Yes. Yes. We'll put it that way. For the niceness of the subject, we're gonna say that it's just nerdy.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not like super involved in the fandom though, but it's nice to see the amount of people that enjoys what I enjoy. It's nice to have a little community every once in a while.
Yeah. I think that's like the importance of a lot of like bands and stuff. When you join a community, you end up in, depending on who you are, depending on what side of the fandom you are on, you end up enjoying more than you would have if you were just like alone listening to it by yourself and not able
Yeah,
to talk about it like with somebody. You know what I mean? See, that's like the
yeah.
reason I created like this podcast in general, because I want people to be able to like come on here and talk about the things that like, even if I don't know anything about it, I'm gonna do as much research as I can just so you can come on, talk about it, and just like nerd out and geek out on whatever like things that you want to talk about, you know, unless it's like really explicit. But like for most subjects, you know, come on and just like talk about like what you really want to talk about and just like have fun
Right.
doing it. Because not everybody, I know me, especially when I was younger, like being into certain things, and I wasn't able to, or I didn't have the resources to just like talk to other people about like these certain things without feeling like embarrassed, or somebody would, like, or like my friends were like gonna make fun of me.
Right.
Especially
No.
like being a guy or whatever. Me, I'm just into a whole bunch of you know, I'm a colorful person, so I'm into this like a whole bunch of. I grew up watching like magical girl stuff, like Winx Club, man,
Yes.
like, and you know, stuff like that. Along with other stuff, you know, I watch like, but I'm like a balanced person, so I don't care. I'm gonna sit here and watch Winx Club if I want to watch Winx Club one day, or watch Dragon Ball Z the other day, just depending on my mood. And so, it's things like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Of course, you wouldn't be embarrassed to say that for the most part. But then when you talk about stuff like Winx Club or Sailor Moon, not anymore. Now I just talk about it. But back then, especially, you really just, you would get made fun of. You know what I mean? You'd be called
Yeah.
names and stuff, especially like around like black people are kind of like a bit. This isn't that podcast. I mean, this isn't that episode. But you know, and it's just like being able to like come and talk about the different things that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
So specifically with My Chemical Romance, is there anything that you really, really, really like want to mention or talk about? I should ask you. Like,
Hmm. Well, I was really thrilled to mention that I got to see their show.
mm-hmm,
It really was life-changing. I would say My Chemical Romance is a great band for people. Well, let me save that for my elevator pitch.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, what was the experience like? Really, like an in-depth experience of the concert that
oh.
you? I'm assuming maybe, because I've never been to a concert, but I'm assuming that you probably maybe have been to other concerts.
So
Maybe.
I yeah. I've gone to like little concerts before. My
Uh-huh.
biggest concert, aside from a My Chemical Romance concert, was a Def Leppard concert that I went to in 2018. I saw Journey and Def Leppard. That
Mm.
was pretty cool. But aside from that, this was the biggest concert that I've been to. And there were so many people. I have never seen that many people all dressed in black. It was so crazy. It was just insane to see that amount of people that like the same band as you, all in one place, just there for one reason, to see the band play. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it was really, really, really great. I went with several of my friends and we just made sure to get there on time, find our seats, get some merch, you know,
Good for
all the
you. You're
all the good
like,
stuff. We were
yeah.
like we were prepared. We were like, we are not messing around with this.
Mm-hmm.
But we got there on time. We watched the openers. The openers were fantastic. It was Midtown and Devil Slayer, I want to say. It was a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really awesome. They played great. And then when My Chemical Romance came on, everybody just lost it. Everybody was just so happy to be there, singing, dancing. You know, I could go on. It was so just like transcendent. Like it just felt like everybody was there for one reason and we were there to have fun, you
Mm.
know?
This
And it
this is a
was
great
just
experience.
it was a great experience.
What about their music in particular? Just like really just made you fall in love with them?
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't really know. There was something about Gerard Way's voice when I was 14 that just really got me. I I really was just, I guess, looking for somebody that like understood what I was going through. And whenever I found My Chemical Romance, it felt like somebody understood me for once.
Mhm.
And it felt like I wasn't alone, finally, I guess. I feel like a lot of people feel that way about the things that they like, but it's like with My Chemical Romance, I feel like this band specifically got together to give people reasons to live. You know, that was why Gerard created the band in the first place.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. There was a serious part of liking My Chemical Romance, and then there was the unserious part, which was watching all the fan edits on YouTube
Mhm.
and enjoying their music like super late at night in my room. You know, it was it was freeing and it was also reassuring to
Mhm.
know that I wasn't alone.
Do you think that's why they stand out so much coming from these humble beginnings? They weren't a type of band that just came together just to make music because they just enjoy music. They came together for reasons to help people in a lot of ways because their origins did come from 9/11 and they wanted to send a message out to people. Do you think that really played a part in like their success as a band?
Definitely. So, specifically, they have a song called Skylines and Turnstiles, which is
Mhm.
about 9/11.
Mhm.
And I remember the first time I heard that song, and I was like, whoa, you know, this is serious. Like, this band means business. They're not just here to make music like most bands are, you know, they just want to make music or they have other motives, I'm sure. But My Chemical Romance came together because of 9/11 and because they wanted to make a difference in the world. And I feel like that definitely makes them stand out. I definitely wouldn't have been nearly as interested if they didn't have a deeper meaning. I feel like other bands that I enjoy surface level is because they don't have a deeper meaning, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like the deeper meaning of of their band in general, really goes into every aspect. It goes into the look. It even goes into their albums. Their albums having like storylines, like full on storylines that have arcs and characters and things like that. What's your favorite album?
My favorite album is You Brought Me Your Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. So
Hmm.
that one's storyline is about a man and a woman falling in love and them ultimately not being able to be together.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna get too into it because I recommend that you listen to the album to find out the storyline.
Hmm.
But it's really interesting and I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so would you say that to you that's your favorite, but which one would you say is the best album too? Like for people that are like, I want to listen to this, but I also want to know what's the best. Because I'm one of those type of people like, what's the best? See, because that's the problem. Because you're always gonna have your personal favorite, but all the
Yeah,
time it's not always gonna be the best, right? It's like Lion
right.
King. I think
Right.
Lion King's like the best Disney movie ever. It's not my favorite Disney movie though. I can't stand watching that movie. Mostly because growing up, we watched it too much, right? But
Right.
which one would you say really is just like the best out of all the albums? I know
Welcome
what
to
the
the
most
Black Parade
yeah.
for sure. That one is definitely the most popular, the
Mhm.
most, like, lyrically beautiful, the
Mhm.
most musically beautiful.
Mhm.
I would say Welcome to the Black Parade hits the hardest. Like, they have the most bangers, no skips. Like, I would say that is the best album.
What's the storyline for that one? Because I forgot. I know it's like a black parade, uh, obviously, but like I forget
So
it.
it's ultimately death and dying.
Mhm.
So it's a man who has cancer,
Mhm. Oh, and
essentially.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It started coming back to me, and then like they were playing with like the idea of also like memories. So like the last memory you see or something like that is like
Before you die,
before
yeah.
you die. Yeah. I can't remember. You go ahead, cause I'm just going. I'm on myself.
Um, honestly, I don't even really remember. It's okay, like, Welcome to the Black Parade is my least favorite album.
Mhm.
Considering everything, it's the most popular, and it does have the best songs, but I personally don't really like the what do I not like about Welcome to the Black Parade? It's hard to, like, pinpoint what you dislike about an album when you really start to think about it. I guess for me, Welcome to the Black Parade is basic because everybody likes it so much. I
Mm.
guess it's just because other people like it. It's gotta
Yeah.
be. But
You saying it's overrated, or you saying it's
I
just
would
like?
say it's a little overrated, but
Mhm.
it's still a good album. It does have the bangers. It is the Lion King in your words. But but, you know, it's still, like, you don't like listening to it because it's so you've seen it so many times, you've heard it so many times, you know? But, yeah, I really like the storyline that I could tell you the most about, though, is Danger Days,
Mm.
and that one is about this post-apocalyptic world. The guys in the band are playing these characters, and they're trying to get away and keep the color in the world. They wanna keep the color in the world, so they get away from the black and white monotony of the new world that the bad guys are trying to create. Grant
Mhm.
Morrison actually plays the character of the bad guy,
Does
the
he really?
Corse. Yes. So,
Wow.
that's pretty funny that you mentioned him earlier. I was thinking
Mhm.
about that.
Mhm. That makes too much sense. That makes too much sense. I feel like I was about to say you can turn these albums into like TV shows, but then when I think about it, like they kind of already like.
So, Danger Days is actually adapted after a comic book.
Mhm.
I believe the album came first,
Mhm.
and then the comic book came second.
Yes, I
I
remember
could be
that.
wrong,
Yeah, it's like a
but
5 issue miniseries, I think.
yes, it's
Mhm.
super good. I really wanna read it. I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet
Mhm.
because whenever I was going to the library, they didn't have it, but I'm hoping I can purchase it one day with my big kid money.
Yes, that's the goal. My goal is to
Yeah.
one day have like this whole shelf of just comic books everywhere. So that's gonna be
Yes.
me. You're gonna see a whole bunch of X-Men, obviously, but you're gonna see some other stuff too.
Yes.
Did they? Because I know he created Umbrella Academy. Did they do music for that show?
So, no, they didn't. They weren't
Mhm.
together, but Gerard by himself and with
Mhm.
one of the old bandmates from My Chemical Romance made a song together. They recorded a cover of Happy together,
Mm-mm.
and that one turned out really good. I really
Yeah.
actually prefer the cover over the
Yeah.
original.
Because I remember when I was watching the show, especially when it came out, I did not watch past the first season. I watched like the first episode of the second season. I dropped off, not because I didn't think it was good. I just forgot about it. But
Right.
what really stood out to me really was the music. And like I'm still trying to put it together that this guy that I know from comic books is this guy that's like this very famous musician and singer. He's more known for that than he is for what I know him for. And so
Right, right.
it's like this weird like I don't know. It's like this weird like two different worlds have come together, but they're like the same at the same time. Cause
Exactly.
and it's like is the thing that interested me the most about this band was really just like their history and all the stuff that they're just like involved in and just how big they really are. It's amazing because
Yeah. It's
it
really awesome.
it was really far on my. I thought it was like far away from my like view, right? But it's just like it was like right there because I'm like, wait, I know who you are. And some of their songs, I'm like, I know this song. I can't remember any of the names. Don't ask me. But your playlist was really good. I must say,
Really
yes, it was really
awesome.
good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yay.
I forgot which. There was this one song that stood out to me. There were two of them. I know one of them had to do with like a school. I can't remember what it was called though. But there was another one.
Teenagers, maybe?
I think it probably was teenagers. And then there was another one. I need to go back and look at them. I want to be like, these are my suggestions for you to listen. But I know that I just wouldn't do it. But like their music is really fun to listen to. I'm not a rock person, but I thought it was really just like fun. And it's really interesting that to me it was kind of like I know there are like a lot of rock bands that do like well, not rock bands, but there are a lot of people, could be rock bands. You do it with the happy music, but like the lyrics and stuff are really just like dark and not saying that their
Yeah.
lyrics aren't dark because they are, but their music is a bit more like hopeful in contrast to like the like really just punk like rock aesthetic, I should say.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I totally get what you're saying.
And I think that really also that helped make them stand out too. Because I'm the type of person when I listen to music, I always like to know the lyrics. Even if I don't understand the lyrics, I'm going to go and look at the lyrics to follow along with the song. And then when I was looking at the lyrics, I was like, and you can understand some of the lyrics, but I'm not going to sit here and lie until like I knew everything they were saying. Was like going through the lyrics and stuff. I'm like, oh, so this is what they're talking about. And this is the message and theme and or whatever. And so like, it was just really interesting. I found that they're quite intriguing. That's what I should say.
I agree. Definitely their lyricism has kept me interested in their music for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's only so many times you can listen to a song before it gets tiring.
Mm-hmm.
But with My Chemical Romance, I feel like I also, like, did myself a favor and, like, left a few songs unlistened to for years later. Like, Hang 'Em High, I didn't listen to until recently. It really stood out to me that their lyrics were so unique and their storylines kept you interested for a long time. I feel like, you know, having these intricate plot lines to their stories really helped me keep my attention, you know?
You know who they remind me of?
Who?
The Gorillas. The Gorillas.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't think about it.
Yeah. I had to scroll through a whole list because they did like top 15 animated bands or whatever. But yeah, the Gorillas, they always have these storylines for the characters and stuff. And they're always like really bombastic or whatever. And I was talking about how they took the character from the Powerpuff Girls. They literally took a Powerpuff Girls character and put them in a band. And I remember that. I want to be so proud of it. And they have like these really weird, their storylines are just like a bit more like character based in a way. It's just not random characters. It's the band basically doing their thing. This character, and I find it so hilarious when they have these animated characters, and then like this one person is leaving the band. Like it's just like, where are you gonna go? Like, are you about to like release a solo album? Like, are you going to like like the deep depths of nothingness? Like, I need to know. But I just found that so hilarious, and they instantly reminded me of the Gorillas, even though I couldn't think of their name.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So I guess what we should do now is like get into the quiz, because I want to see how big of a fan you are of My Chemical Romance, okay? So this quiz, like I said, is going to be a quiz on lyrics. Guys, if you want to follow along, it's on play.howstuffworks.com, because I was not making this quiz by myself. That would have been way more work than I was into at the moment. But so it's about 33 questions. We're gonna see how you do.
Let's go.
I created rules for it, but I'm not gonna read the rules. What I'm gonna do is just like put them in, like edit them in.
He was gonna edit them in, but decided not to do it. Lazy flesh bag.
Okay.
But let's just say if you miss 2, that means you're an ultra fanatic. Okay. If you miss 5, that means you're a fanatic, and if you miss more than that, you know, you're okay. You're
okay.
Yeah, you're pretty okay. You've heard them before. You heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. If you're rocking out to famous last words, what goes in this blank? Nothing you can say can stop me going insane. Home. You already got it. Should I just let you just start like answering, or should I just give like the? We'll just do it per question, okay?
Okay.
Yes, it's home. Okay, so the song "Welcome to the Black Parade" gives a bleak description of the protagonist's father taking him to see what?
To see a marching band.
Yes. I would assume this is like a black parade. Somebody says like elephants at a circus, crash of Hindenburg, and the funeral of his mother.
Oh my god.
I feel like some of these were actual answers for not that song. But if you're singing along to the lyrics for Cemetery Drive, what would go into this blank? Drinking by the blank door. Should I give you the
Yeah, give me the hints.
Okay. Drinking by the dive bar door, drinking by the gymnasium door, drinking by the Jamba Juice door, drinking by the not knowing my English. Mausoleum door. How do you pronounce it?
Mausoleum door.
Mausoleum. If I said mausoleum. I'm not cutting that out. Which of these songs features Liza Minnelli singing? Or is it Liza? I don't know. I'd maybe then sing you a song. Mama.
Mama.
Correct, Mama. The other choices were Mommy, Yo Mom, and My Mom. All right. Fill in the missing word from this song, Dead. And if your heart stops beating, I'll be wondering, did you get what you desired, expected, bought online, or deserve?
Deserve.
Yeah. I obviously assumed that it was bought online. But as you can see, I was wrong. That's what I would have wrote, you know. Some Agent My Kim fans cut their teeth on lyrics such as "Give me all your blank and give me all your pills" from "Thank You for the Venom." What fills that blank? Well, I think I know this one. Yes, I knew that one. I knew that one. Look at me. I'm a fan. If you were skipping and hanging out with your friends in the basement, skipping school, I should say, listening to Helena, and heard these lyrics, just like the blank, you died to get in. What word fixing that blank? Casket, tomb, hearse, or
Hearse.
Correct.
Yes.
Which of these songs is most unlike the typical My Chemical Romance style, but is loved by the band's fans? The Ballad of Curtis Lowe, Blood, End Credits, Tweezer Reprise, or Pyromania?
Blood.
Correct, because I didn't know. Finish the song title. It's not a fashion statement, it's
A death wish.
a death wish. See, I was going to pick a lifestyle. I forgot what band it was. Okay. All the Angels is a sort of emo hymnal about death with the lyrics, because all the angels say, oh, or is it ooh, I don't know. You are all blank.
The same.
Well, oh, no. My friends to blame, in trouble past curfew.
What?
Is it maybe to blame? You said the
To
same.
blame, probably.
Let's see. Correct. Okay, So Long and Good Night. Can you name that song? So Long
Yes.
and Good Night. You want me to
Yes,
give you
I
that?
can.
Okay. Helena, Burn Bright.
Helene. Wait, go on.
Burn Bright, Surrender the Night, Famous Last Word.
It's Helena.
Helena. Correct. You know your stuff.
I just doubted myself.
Sometimes when you doubt, that's when it comes to you.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank to see these lyrics from the song. The sharpest lies. You're the one that I need. I'm the one that you are repulsed by. Low, despise. Take out for ice cream.
Loads.
Oh my god. No,
No,
there
I
was
take
this,
out for ice cream.
there's this one music video because I was supposed to. I was like, I'm gonna watch these music videos, but I didn't really get a chance to. But there was one of the music videos when they were in school. I guess it's the one you're telling me about. But the guy, what's his name?
Gerard.
Not Gerard. The one with the curly hair. What's his name? I can't think of it.
Ray.
Yeah. So he was like chewing on crayons or something.
Yeah.
I forgot what he was doing. I was like, what is that? And he was like, I guess he was trying to flirt with a girl or whatever. I can't quite remember what he was doing. I think he was trying to flirt with a girl or something, get her attention.
Yeah.
And he started chewing on crayons. And I said, that's a way to flirt. I don't know why that just came into my head. Like, you know what? We're going to do some music video suggestions at the end. So, like, people can, like, your song suggestions and music video suggestions that you think people should like, really listen to. Which of these is a lyric from the cosmic song Bulletproof Heart? Jenny, won't you come back home? Jenny was a friend of mine. Jenny, you're a star. Jenny, leave Forrest alone, please.
Jenny, come home.
Yes, correct. Who is Forrest? That's what I need to know. This song, which could be perfectly at home on the skateboarding video game, has the poignant lyrics. So show me what you got. Against the sun, we're the enemy. What is it titled? Sun Worship, Destroyer, DEFCON Dead, eyeliner is my superpower. I like that one. Eyeliner is my superpower. I feel like that's a good.
That is a good one. It's Destroy It though.
See, me and Ben are opposites. So I'm like, this sounds great. They were like, look at me. I get kicked out so fast. If I could be with you tonight, I would blink you to sleep. Are the perfect lyrics to cry to sleep to from the song The Lights Behind Your Eyes. Fill in the blank to complete the line. If I could be with you tonight, I would rock you to sleep. I would sing you to sleep. I would poison you to sleep. I would croon you to sleep.
Sing you to sleep.
Sing, really?
I think so.
See, here I thought I was gonna be poisoned. I don't. Okay, which song with the lyrics "Na Na Na" could be mistaken for a song by Journey in 1979? Na Na Na, Separate Ways, Don't Stop Believing, The Light Behind Your Eyes.
Na na na.
Mm-hmm. Na 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 na. Could it be like that? I don't know. Did you have an answer? Was that your answer? No, no, no.
Oh wait. Oh. Is that an answer?
Yeah, that's an answer.
Okay, that's the one I picked.
Let's see. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. What a surprise. The song "The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You" is about the fragility of life. What are its poignant closing lyrics? Ah, sugar. No, baby. Oh, dear. Yes, sir.
It's all sugar.
Sugar.
Some of these are so funny.
While listening to teenagers, you hear the lines, so darken your blank or strike a violent pose. Can you fill in the blank? Eyes, toes, clothes, smile.
Clothes.
Correct. I assumed it was going to be something that rhymed. I don't know why. Which of these obscure lyrics about Volvo fit into a My Chemical Romance song? Play it right and drive a Volvo car. Pick a fight at an airport bar. I know I used to be a real wild child, but now I am a Volvo driving soccer mom. See those rings on her toes? Check that frisbee in this Volvo. This Volvo is how do you pronounce that word? I don't know. It's what ancient place. Is it like a car or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I might pull up in the Volvo, go hard. I ain't trying to live, so.
It's the first one.
The first one? Correct. See, I don't know
Nice.
anything about cars for the most part.
I don't know anything either. I just know that from the song.
Yeah. Which song that features the lyric, she's got a life of her own and it shows by the Benz. She drives at 90, but the Barbies and Kens. Dead end road to nowhere, to the end, Barbie girl.
To the end.
Barbies and Kens really stands out to me at this moment since Barbie is so big or whatever. I need to go see that movie. I really do.
It's really good. You should see it.
You saw it? Oh my gosh. It's gonna hit
you
like
should get
a
a fan.
billion. Yeah, yes. I'm gonna get a fan. I'm gonna see that movie and try to get a fan of Barbie. Cause I want to do a Barbie episode where we talk about like the dolls, like the history or whatever, and do a Barbie episode where we talk about the movie. That would be so fun. You might be clad in black and red, but Gerard Way sings, "Don't I look pretty walking down the street in the best?" I don't cuss, so I'm just gonna say "dang dress I own." Is that in what catchy tune? 1979, Give 'em Hell Kid, City of New Orleans, My Little Needle.
Give 'em Hell Kid.
Complete these lyrics to I'm Not Okay, I Promise. This is a song I remember. Remember when you broke your arm, neck, foot, or heart?
Foot.
Correct. Which lyrics paired to the bleakly titled song Cancer off the album Black Parade? Baby, I'm not soggy from the chemo. Cause all my hair is abandoned on my body. Both, neither. I'm not gonna answer because I feel like I know the answer. I'm not gonna say it, obviously. Should I say it again? Because I feel like I was just.
Wait, what was the question?
Which lyrics pair to the bleakly titled song Cancer off the album The Black Parade? Baby, I'm just soggy from the chemo. Cause all my hair is abandoned on my body. Or is it both or neither?
It's both.
In the song. Correct. I knew that one actually. So look at me. Which fun song?
He gets something right.
Which fun song with a peppy beat and positive message features these lyrics? You can run away with me anytime you want. All the angels, summertime, drawing lessons. The jet set life is going to kill you.
It's summertime.
Disenchanted starts off with a beautiful instrumental and the ballad. Well, I was there on the day they sold the cause for the government, the cure, the truth, or the queen.
The queen.
Queen? It's interesting. Yeah, I need to like. I'm really gonna go back and listen to a few of these songs too.
Yes.
Complete these lyrics for the longest running song on the album, Danger Days. You only blank the music when your heart begins to break. Play, listen, hear, illegally download.
You only hear the music.
Yeah. As we're going further down, I'm starting to realize I know some stuff.
Ooh.
Which My Chemical Romance song steals words from, of all musicians, Louis Armstrong? The light behind your eyes, save yourself, I'll hold them back. You know what they do to the guys like us in prison? Put a little love in your heart. Have you ever heard of any Louis Armstrong?
No.
Yeah? Okay. Because I was like, I don't know. I said Louis.
I would say the first song.
First one? The light behind your eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison. I assumed it was that one, or put a little
That's
love.
crazy.
I said Louis Armstrong. Is it Louis?
I think it's Louis
I
Armstrong.
think it's Louis. I don't know. Yeah. After you put on your third layer of eyeliner, so fix your eyes and get up. Better get up while you can comes echoing through your speakers. What song are you listening to? I Don't Love You, Give 'Em Hell Kid, To the End, The World is Ugly.
I Don't Love You.
I Don't Love You. Correct.
Yeah.
Written as tragically romantic. The lyrics, all we are is bullets. Okay, that confused me. I mean this. From the song Demolition Lovers appears on what album?
I brought you my bullets.
Didn't that start off as a they had an EP that they released before that, like 4 days they did before they released the actual album. I feel like they did that. I think that's part of history. Like they did an EP. I forgot what it was called though. It was called like Phantoms Forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they released it like 4 days before for promotion. Or was it they did another thing too. They did like a thing before that they did music, but it was like a demo. So some of the songs got transformed into other songs. Cause I know was it Skylines and
Skylines and Turnstiles, yeah.
and Turnstiles was before that was just called Skylines. And then
Yeah.
it changed into that song. Okay, but Conventional Weapons number 3 featured 2 unique singles, including The Light Behind Your Eyes. What is the other one? The World is Ugly, Burn Bright, Boy Division, or Ambulant? In all capital letters.
Oh, God. I'm guessing Ambulance.
No, The World is Ugly.
Oh, no.
All answers are actually some. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. So all of them were on there, right? But The World is Ugly was actually the A side to The Light Behind Your Eyes. That's interesting. Which of these songs possesses a perfect punk progression and the lyrics will love again, will laugh again? Mama, To the End, I Never Told You What I Do for a Living, Give 'Em Hell Kid.
I never told you what I do for a living.
Correct. Fill in the lyrics from the song Sing. Sing it for the deaf, sing it for the poor, blind, drummers, kids.
Blind.
Correct. Which of these songs from I Brought You My Bullets features the lyrics Think Happy Thoughts? Dead, Drowning Lessons, Head First into Halos, The World is Ugly.
Head first into
That's
Halos.
what I was thinking. Yes, correct. Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back is a song from Danger Days, but what exactly are you getting saved from? Death? The devil? The dead? All the above?
Is it bad that I don't actually know? I think it's all the
Yeah.
above.
I'm assuming it's all the above. That or death.
Yeah.
It's death.
It's dead.
It's death. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you anyway, because I don't know. That just seemed like the same answer all the time.
Right.
What song would be the perfect accompaniment to your late night seance? Mostly because it mentions one. Cemetery Drive, This Is How I Disappear, All the Angels, Ghost of You. Oh, because it mentions a seance. Okay. So which of these songs like basically mentions
How I
seance?
Disappear.
How I Disappear. Yeah, that question confused me for a second. So it says you got 32 out of 35, but you actually got 33 out of 35.
What?
So that means you are ultra fanatic. That means you can go out and just tell people, and you can go to like parties and stuff and be like, I know about My Chemical Romance, and just give them all the stuff. You're the master. You could teach a whole course on them.
Oh my gosh. I should be a college professor on My Chemical Romance.
Yes, you should do it. You can make some extra money. It'll be great.
That would be so awesome.
I'll take the course as long as you pass me.
I'll pass you because you knew several of those actually. So.
I did. I mean, I'll say like several, meaning as in like 15, maybe 10 to 15. So yeah,
hey,
like
that's plenty.
That's plenty. I'm okay. So now I should ask you, because we're getting to the end. This has been great. This has been flowing really well. But what are some recommendations for My Chemical Romance? First, we'll do like songs, and then we can do music videos, because you might like some music videos better than you like some songs. I don't know. But if you like both, just go ahead and just tell us.
So for my songs recommendations, I would recommend Give 'Em Hell. I would recommend the entirety of Welcome to the Black Parade. That's kind of necessary. Like that has the most bangers, most no skips. And then for music videos, I would say Welcome to the Black Parade is a very pivotal music video to watch.
Is that the one where they were holding the casket?
No, that's Helena.
That's Helena. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did Black Parade have a parade in it?
Yes.
It did. No, because I'm thinking of they had before they released the album, they had a concert where they had like all these people dressed in black cloaks or whatever, and then they had the fans behind them like Black Parade, Black Parade, Black Parade or whatever. And then I don't know if it was before or after the album, but I remember that they did that.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, for music videos, I don't know, all of them are really good. It's really hard to tell you like which ones to watch. There's not a whole lot of them, so it makes it pretty easy to kind of binge them all. But I would say Na 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 is a pretty good music video as well. That one is Danger Days, and that kind of shows you more in depth my my terrible description of how that world goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are pretty good.
So before we get into your like pitch or whatever as to why people should listen to My Chemical Romance, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we go? Anything that you want to mention that you might have want to mention before, but that you didn't get a chance to?
So something interesting that I like to think about sometimes is Gerard Way's own personal journey as a person. So talking about My Chemical Romance, he's the frontman. He's the main guy that started the band. He writes a lot of the lyrics, a lot of the music. By all means, not discrediting the rest of the band. They're pretty awesome too. But Gerard Way was an alcoholic and was addicted to pills for a while. So he really grew through that and got over his addictions. He got through them in a way that really inspires a lot of people. And I think that's an important factor of My Chemical Romance, is that they've always been pretty open about their issues and what's going on. They haven't hidden their struggles with abuse of substances, you know? So, I don't know. I think it's really inspiring that they share that side of themselves. And yeah, I'm just really impressed with Gerard Way and how far he's come and the different aspects of his creativity. He's an artist musically and visually. I definitely am inspired by that as an artist myself. I see people like that all the time that have two different skills, but they just kind of leave them or, you know, only pursue one of them. It's really nice to see somebody that's multifaceted, you know, succeeding.
Yeah, that's what really stood out to me, because I feel like I always love when people do all the things that they can enjoy and put it together. Like, you're not leaving one part of yourself behind, because I feel like sometimes you'll forget about a part of yourself, and then you don't come back to it till like years later, or you never come back to it, and there's like regrets that you have in life. And I think that was really fascinating about him too, because I'm the type of person who's interested in a lot of different things too. Art, music too. I do this podcast and stuff too. I'm interested in all those different things and writing and stuff like that. And just, it's all has to do with like art actually. But in a way, but like seeing people that are able to like express themselves fully and be able to like find a way to still enjoy the things that they enjoy and don't feel like they have to hide those parts of themselves. I think that really does make those people seem more authentic. And I think that really does really make this band stand out, because like we were talking about earlier, how they're nerds. I remember seeing an interview with them talking about how they wanted to play like Dungeons and Dragons or whatever and just sit there and play video games and stuff like that. And it really stands out, because I feel like sometimes people try to hide like those aspects of themselves just to fit into a specific bubble, just trying to be things for everyone. But just being yourself, like, because this guy was a cartoonist before he was in a band, like famous band, because he was in bands before when he was young, but like one seriously. And then he still came back to doing all those things. And then this helped him with his mental health and showing he practiced what he preached too, you know what I mean? Seeing as he was, you know, addicted to like drugs and things like that, and how he still overcame that and still showing that you can always find a way out. That's just really special.
I agree.
So, all right, it's time for your pitch. Why should people listen to My Chemical Romance? Why should they give this band a chance? Imagine this is like a room full of people. They never listened to this band, or they never listened to like rock music before, like me. I listen to rock music, but like never been a big fan of it. What would you tell these people? Why should they listen?
My Chemical Romance will give you the tools you need to deal with whatever you have going on. My Chemical Romance is a great band that is full of genuine, authentic guys that just want to make a difference in the world. And after 9/11 and starting the band, I believe that they have, and I think it's worth your time to check them out.
I like that.
That is my pitch.
That is your pitch. I like that. It made me want to listen to them. It's a good pitch, you know,
Awesome.
hitting them emotions. But like, it's been great to have you on here. I was super excited.
So much.
I've learned so much. Like, thank you for wanting to discuss discuss them, because I was like, who are these people?
Turns out you knew more than you thought.
I knew more than I thought, and it's really fun. These are my favorite types of episodes, where I can come and have people come on and talk about stuff that I really don't know about, or stuff that I hardly talk about. Like, I would say, because I have, out of my top 3 favorite episodes, I would say this, the episode that I did recently that I released like a month or so ago. I'm a fan of shoujo, and I would say I'm a fan of Abbott Elementary. Me and my sister did an episode of Abbott Elementary, because she's a teacher, and we started talking about like teaching and stuff. But those would be my 3 favorite episodes so far. This is like in my top 3 now. This is really fun. It was great.
Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
You were so energized.
Yes.
Of course, I'm gonna have you again one day. I'm gonna have you on here again. But usually when I have my guests on again, that's when I pick something that may or may not correlate to the topic that we discussed. So
nice. I'm excited.
So, I'm gonna have to figure something out. It's gonna be fun. I don't know if I want to do something with music, or if I want to do like, I don't know. It could be something that relates to like this band, like Umbrella Academy or something. We can talk about that, or like a comic book, or I can pick like a band or a group that's like probably way out of your wavelength, and then have you.
That would be cool. I'm so down.
Yes, that would be great. But thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Do you have any socials that you want to tell people about that they can reach you at?
Yes. So I am at KREATE. Or wait, there's an underscore in there.
Yeah, there's an underscore in there.
There's an underscore in there. Yes. Bad. It's right after the K. It's K_REATE. So that is my Instagram, my Facebook. Check out my art.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of My Chemical Romance on there too. I sometimes post fan art every once in a while.
You're an amazing artist, so.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. It's been like getting to like know you guys and just like seeing like the growth and everything too. It's just great to see like I'm excited to see what like you have going on in the future too, in like just
Me
all areas of
too.
your life. You know, it's gonna be
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah. But thanks for coming on the podcast. You can tell
Thank you
everybody
so much for
bye.
having me.
No
Bye.
problem.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for listening to the I'm a Fan of podcast.
Don't forget to support us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and supporting our socials at IAFO Fans on Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. Plus, our email, iafofans@gmail.com. You can use all these to send questions, suggestions, and even apply to be a guest.
Okay, Mr. Profession.
I know.
And if you didn't catch all of that, it'll be in the show notes.
Next episode will be the scripted special High School High. I hope you're ready, guys.
Until then, we'll say...
If you know, then you know. See ya.
Or hear ya.
Or type ya.
Oh, so now you're the one typing?
Okay, look, wait, it sounds better coming from me, so
It
you don't
does
need to
not
do all
sound
that.
better
Wait, you don't
coming
need to
from
talk
you.
about it.
Yes, I
Yep.
do.
No,
Yes,
yet.
I do.
Soon.